What's up, Bartley?
Hey, we doing, brother?
Good,
Does
man.
everything look good? Sound
Yeah,
good?
yeah, everything looks great, man. It's last time we were on, you were just on your phone. Now you got a
I
whole
know.
setup.
Hey, I'm set up now.
How's being a law enforcement these days?
All
So
right. Yeah.
yeah,
So yeah, the job, it's different nowadays, but that's just like any other job,
yeah,
time changes everything, and just learn to um, adapt, to the current environment, and just do your best to, you know,
hmm
protecting and serving. That's what it comes down to at the end of the day. So
yeah. Do you do a lot of traffic stops and stuff like that?
yeah, I do my share here and there.
Yeah,
It just depends. You
yeah,
know, uh, I would say definitely probably with the coronavirus stuff, you know, there for a certain time period, before people knew how serious or not serious it was.
hmm
Um, that it kind of changed our traffic stop,
yeah. I kind of noticed that a little
occurrence.
bit. Yeah, in the beginning,
Yeah,
especially when when stuff started kind of hitting the fan with the virus. It's like a lot of
right,
police were like they weren't as vigilant. You know what I'm saying? Like
right,
they weren't
right. You still answer your calls and take care of business, but
right,
as far as proactive,
right.
it's consider putting yourself and others in danger.
Sure, sure. Like for
So
smaller stuff, like they wouldn't
right,
necessarily
right.
sweat it. Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
still now, like the jail won't take some people,
Really?
depending on
Yeah.
depending on how full they are and what their current situation is with COVID numbers and stuff. Sometimes they'll, you know
If
like
it's
failure to appear warrants and stuff like that, then they might not,
yeah,
take
stuff
them.
that's
You just kind of,
not as harsh.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, kind of cite and release type of deal.
Gotcha. Gotcha. Yeah. Man, I tell you what, I was impressed with the way you looked for now. Correct me if I'm wrong, for the amateur Olympia, right? Is that what
Yeah, yeah,
what
that's
you
right,
did? Man,
man.
I mean, you looked sharp. Like, when did you
Thanks,
decide?
man.
No problem. When did you decide to, like, that was going to be a show that you're going to do?
Well, to be honest with you, I didn't necessarily have plans to compete last year. I
Mhm.
knew I had some ulterior motives to get in shape, you know, uh, with my products, Titan Fuel coming out. I wanted to get some good content. Wanted to do something like a photo shoot or something. Just
Yeah.
create some content. And so I went down to Texas with Icon Mills. I guess it was a week out from USA's.
Mhm.
So, and at that time, I didn't know that I was going to compete there either. I just showed up. I was lean. I knew I was pretty close, you know, body fat wise, to step on stage within a
Mhm.
couple of weeks, but it was still my weight that was the issue. I was sitting at, you know, 250, you know, and my cutoff is 230, and I'm like, man,
Yeah, 20
I'm,
pounds is a
I'm, I'm,
lot.
yeah, yeah, I'm about dug out right now, man. I don't know how much I can do. Um, so I ended up having a good time in Texas. Just take it day by day. I got home and found out that I could have somebody cover one of my shifts, which would allow me to take off to go uh, do USA's.
Mhm.
And so on about a 4 or 5 day notice, I'm like, well, I guess it's peak week, guys. I put in my entry the very last day as it was accepted,
Mhm.
and I think what I had to end up doing to make that show was probably the craziest. The Olympia, um, I kind of had more confidence because I'd just done it for the
Mhm.
USA's, but I lost uh, 30 pounds in 60 hours. Like I got up to 260, there, around Wednesday
That's
and
crazy. So
Tuesday or Wednesday, and I was like, man, so what I did, I didn't eat for 2 days,
mhm.
and I stayed on my 2 hours of cardio a day. Like I'm good at crash dieting. I'd rather go all out, give it 100%
Mhm.
than you know do a long, slow prep. I just
Mhm.
that's not fun to me. I'd
Yeah.
rather live my life, have balance, and then when it's go time, let's flip the switch. Let's give it all we got.
Yeah.
That's kind of my
So
personality.
if you're better like for a short amount of time to, to
Right.
just go ahead
Right.
and just 100% go into it, than have to deal with
Right.
like just a halfway kind of all the time. That's
Right.
frustrating. Yeah.
Right. Yeah, and that's especially when you've got that much weight to cut. I think it's honestly for me, I think it's easier to go hard. As long as I start in a good spot. If I start about 8 weeks out and just go hermit mode and just absolutely kill it,
Yeah.
I think that's easier on me both mentally and I don't know about physically, but 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 it's just man, it's tough to, especially how much I like to eat.
Yeah, I do. I
So
see. I see.
yeah,
I see all the food. It's like every time
man,
I think about like I'm gonna keep myself like in check with in
yeah.
in the food department. I see a picture that you put up, and then I'm like, ah,
Yeah.
oh,
Yeah,
that's
man.
funny.
It's tough. I got a lot of companies that support me and send me food. I'm
Yeah,
very blessed for that. And I grew up, you didn't leave any leftovers. So if somebody sends me something, if somebody wants to sabotage me, hey, just find out my address and send me
send you
some
some food.
junk food. Yeah.
Hey, the next time you compete, they're gonna get like a lot more food just at your doorstep
Oh yeah. Yeah.
from all the people that are
Yeah.
gonna compete against you.
Yeah, if you watch some interviews, I've heard of Lee Priest and a couple of them back in the day would send each other, big cakes. They send
Yeah,
one to
yeah,
send one to Nasser and all that crazy stuff. And I was like,
yeah.
man, don't do it to
Nasser
me.
Nasser would get so upset too. I remember the stories that
Yeah,
they would say.
yeah,
It's
yeah.
crazy. So you were dropping you said about 20 pounds or so. Is that what you 20 or 30
Well,
pounds?
well, I ended up getting a 260.
Mm,
Right before I knew that I was going to have to fast for 2 days just to empty my stomach out and have
yeah,
zero weight in my stomach. Um, I went hard, of course.
yeah, yeah.
I ate a lot of food, and I was like, "Well, this is going to be it, boys. This is
Mm,
not going to be able to eat for 2 days, so let's make it count." So that's
yeah,
that's part of the reason why I jumped up to 260. That was at night before bed.
gotcha.
Uh, but the next 2 days were 2 hours of cardio plus weight training, no food.
Hmm.
Stayed
So
hydrated, but when it come to making weight, I had to cut my water a day early, which I've never done, which
mm,
made me a little nervous about filling back out. Especially USA's was a 1 day turnaround, so you weigh in, on the Friday, compete on Saturday.
right, right.
Versus Olympia. I think that's why my look was so much better for the Olympia because it was 2 days
Hmm.
to fill up.
Yeah.
So it's hard. I mean, I pounded about 4 pounds of cookies from my buddy Casey that was also competing there with me. He's on the podcast now too. So
Yeah,
uh,
yeah. I listened to your show. It's
yeah,
really good. Yeah.
no, thank you.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, so I just it's very tricky having to fill out. When you had to drastically cut that much.
Hmm.
So if I can find, I mean, I'm probably going to do about as many national shows this year I can, just because I was one spot away from pro card two
Yeah,
times in a row. So
yeah,
I feel like I'm there. I've got the muscle. I just need to be
right.
persistent and keep showing up. And
Yeah,
hopefully, I'll find a show that has one of those 2 day fill ups, and then you know
yeah.
that's ideal.
How how much of that weight cut that you did was dehydration? So like I know
A
you
lot, a
a lot
lot.
of it was just so you got
Yeah,
very dehydrated.
yeah, yeah. It was pretty wild knowing that at your most feeling dehydrated probably you've ever been, you still have water underneath your skin that you
Ooh,
can lose.
yeah,
Uh, because I cut water the night before, didn't drink anything the whole day, still worked out, still sweat, and I was dried up, and I could barely swallow. Had cotton mouth so bad, and I got to the point where I couldn't hardly pee either.
mm,
So
yeah,
I hit that point, and then I got on scale, and I was uh, 4.6 pounds over the cutoff. I'm like, gosh, man, I don't know if I can do this, and the
Yeah.
judges were kind of like, hey, you've got time if you want to try to lose it, and I was like, man, I don't know if I can lose it. I was like,
Yeah.
we'll give it a shot. I always bring my scale with me to shows, just to
Mhm.
set up in the hotel room. Just I've been trying to make weight for the past 3 4 years, so
Yeah.
I've kind of got my little system down. But this year was definitely harder than any prior. I've never weighed over and had to go lose weight. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? So,
Yeah. So now that you know, like, you're gonna do some shows, are you gonna try to, like, monitor your weight throughout the year just to not get too, heavy?
well, I think we're about to hop back into it. You know,
Yeah.
that's my thing, man. If you give me a full off season, I'm gonna put on some muscle, and
Yeah.
I'm gonna put on a little fat too, and the weight's gonna get up there, and I just got to work that much harder. So
Yeah.
this morning I was 263,
Yeah.
which is lowest it's been for a couple months for me. I jumped up to 270 plus, a
Yeah.
week after the Olympia,
Well, probably from the
and haven't
rebound,
came
yeah.
down.
Yeah, from the
Yeah,
rebound for sure, like, especially dropping all that weight, then getting
yeah,
dehydrated,
yeah.
and then just putting all that back in. Yeah, that's
I
tough.
think I think I think 270 is about you know, my sticking point.
Mhm.
Just normal maintenance is around 270. So um, I've got an hour cardio in right now that that I'm gonna keep in at a minimum, and
Hour a
I'm
day
trying
that you're doing?
an hour a day. Yeah, I hit an hour this morning, and I'm trying to decide. I've got a little countdown on my phone with all the national shows. So I think Junior USA's is first up. I think it's in 10 weeks.
Mhm.
So I know I could be ready in 10 weeks if that's what I chose to do.
Yeah.
But then again, you've got to be strategic in knocking out your shows, because I like to do the ones back to back. I don't like to compete, wait a month, or yeah. I think in this situation, it's wait 5 weeks until junior nationals. That's a long time when you're sucked down. You know
Yeah,
what I mean?
yeah, because I mean, you can't, like, keep your
No,
peak, like, for that
no,
for 5 weeks. That's too
right,
tough, especially
right,
somebody like you who's,
right.
tends to carry a lot of muscle like that.
Yeah,
That's not gonna be easy, and probably not even
no,
good for your body in
no,
general.
no. I think if I was to do that, um, I think I would just I'd get back to eating for a week or two,
Yeah.
and then slowly start to bring it back in, just because there's no way you're keeping that peak, and that's the biggest thing with all these shows, is just the timing of everything,
Yeah.
so the
Yeah.
other one is junior nationals. It got moved to Chattanooga. Did you hear that?
No, I didn't. That's good, right?
Yeah,
I
yeah,
mean,
yeah, yeah. It used to be in Chicago, so
yeah, that's
they
perfect
moved it.
for
They moved
for
it to Chattanooga, so I'll be able to drive to it. So that'll be good.
yeah, that's perfect. And if the flying, so you flew for Olympia?
Yes.
Did it affect you, as far as, like, your your distribution of your water and all that? Did it bother you?
Well, see, I wasn't eating, and I think when you're eating, carbs, that's when you have a greater probability to hold some water. So
Mhm.
I actually did pretty good with it.
Good.
Just try not to get stressed out about it, and just
Yeah.
relax. And luckily, they were short flights. Because I was in Arizona, I had to fly to. I flew to Tampa. I got a buddy that lives
Mhm.
in Tampa, so I stayed there. He had access to a sauna
Mhm.
and hot tub and everything. So,
Yeah.
after USA's, I woke up and I was 17 pounds over the limit just after the cheat meal from the night before,
Boy.
and the weigh-ins, the weigh-ins were Monday.
Mm.
I've never had a weigh-in on Monday, so I competed on Saturday, woke up Sunday, 17 over, and then had to weigh in
Way on
Monday
Monday.
afternoon. So I had 24 hours to lose
Yeah.
17.
That's crazy,
Yeah.
man. The
Yeah.
ironically, I know exactly how you feeling because I used to be involved in like wrestling and a
Right.
lot of like combat type of sports, and they're very weight limit regimented, and
Hmm.
everyone cuts weight. Like like everyone tries to get the lowest they can so then they can fill back up. And I was in plenty of situations where you would be like over like 4 pounds, but you had nothing to lose. Like, how am I
Right.
supposed to get these like 4 pounds
Yeah.
off? I don't even have
Sheesh.
4 pounds to give, you know?
I
So,
know it. I know it. I
but
know it.
she,
I learned a valuable trick was
yeah,
some hot showers. It's I was pulling about a pound. I was pulling about a pound of sweat off a shower.
really,
So
that's
I did,
interesting.
yeah. So
Yeah.
I
Now,
did 5-10 minute showers and lost 5 pounds in
just from
about
the
an hour.
showers,
Yeah.
so you're sweating
So that
because of the water's hot,
water.
and then
Right.
you
Right.
drop into weight. That's
Right.
interesting. I know they do like a lot of people use tricks like hot towels, which I guess it's the same concept. They'll just cover themselves in like hot towels for like a period
Hmm.
of time. But I
Right.
imagine it's probably the same thing.
Yeah.
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 So
The shower is probably actually easier, just because
yeah,
you can keep it rolling, get out, wipe off, jump on
and
the
do it again.
scale, and keep on doing it. But you definitely want to take a break. You don't want to sit in there and pass out.
Yeah. Yeah.
Spend more than 10 minutes in there.
Have you had like with that cut, did you have like issues with like fogginess and like mental fatigue and things like that?
Oh, I was definitely a zombie. You know what I mean? But I was just, I still had my uh, whereabouts. And I was like,
Yeah.
man, we'll make it work. Just hang in there, buddy. My mind was all in it. But
Hmm.
just
Yeah.
just moping around a little bit and
The-
trying to tell myself I can drink as soon as I make this weight.
right, right, right. You had a goal in mind. You're just like,
Right,
make it here. I'm good. I just got to
right,
make it here. So,
right.
how did you prep yourself, or did you have somebody helping you?
I prep myself.
You prepped yourselves. That's even more
Yeah,
impressive.
yeah, yeah. My my eating is so different than most bodybuilders. It's like, man, I was like, nobody understands this but me. I've been doing this for so long, and I know what I like to eat. I know when I need to refeed, and I'm so in tune with my body. I was like, it would take somebody else, a year or two to figure it out
Yeah.
and
No,
understand,
no
and
coach is gonna be like,
I'm
"No,
just,
this is
yeah.
okay."
I don't have the discipline I used to have either. I mean,
Yeah.
I won't miss a day in the gym, or I won't, it's intense every second I'm in there. But as
Mhm.
far as the food, hey, if I want to eat a protein bar before bed or three,
Yeah.
then I'll do it, and I'll make it work. I don't know. That's one thing about me is I've become more of a flexible dieter. I
Mhm.
still eat the cod and asparagus when it's game time and it's
Mhm.
time to lose some weight. But I enjoy having the freedom to be able to fit different foods in and
Mhm.
make it work.
Yeah, I'm kind of the same way. It's crazy how that as you get a little older, like
Yeah.
that kind of
Yeah.
tends to, you're like, yeah,
Yeah.
I'm why am I doing it? Like, when
Yeah.
it like you said, when it's
Exactly.
time to have a goal, I'll push myself. But until that moment, look, you can't
Yeah.
just eat some food. Like, what's the
Yeah.
big deal?
Yeah. Yeah. When I first started out, man, I wouldn't have put an almond in my mouth without counting it and entering it. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
And
yeah,
it was just so stressful. And I coach a lot of clients, and I've got them on the MyFitnessPal stuff, but they don't know what's in stuff like I do.
hmm hmm
Maybe some of them do and have pretty good guesses, but I've been doing it for so long that I kind of know what's going on intuitively.
yeah,
So I suggest anybody starting out that to utilize MyFitnessPal. That way they can learn what's in what and what counts what. You know what I
yeah.
mean?
Yeah, absolutely. It's the same. Like it was the same situation for me. Like I have my Fitness Pal and I'll use it, but then what happens is in like people are creatures of habit, and a lot of times they eat the same things and similar things. So at some point you're like, why am I putting this in? I already know
Right.
what it is, but
Right.
it takes time to get to that level. Like if you're
Right. Right.
starting out, you can't do
Yeah.
that. I've seen
Yeah.
people eat stuff and they think it's because it's small, they think, oh, it's not that bad. And that small, like whatever food is probably has like 1,000 calories in it, or whatever.
Right.
So
Right.
it's
Right.
sometimes people just don't understand,
Right.
but anyways, so you started this podcast. What led you to wanting to get involved in just the podcast scene?
To be honest with you, the two guys, James and Casey, they didn't know each other. I've competed with them both. Uh, kind of both had our separate, you know, text threads,
Mhm.
and we talked about the same stuff. We love the same stuff, just good meathead bodybuilders, love cheat meals. We're always
Yeah.
talking about cheat meals. We're always talking about bodybuilding stuff. And I was just like, man, let's instead of having two conversations, let's just bring everybody together, do a weekly little segment, kind of like the bro chat, that Fuad does.
Hmm. Hmm.
And I was like, let's just get together and you know,
Yeah.
let's maybe
Chat it up.
somebody can learn something from it. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. Cool. Your logo is dope. Like I thought the
Thanks, man.
logo was
Yeah.
awesome. Did
Yeah,
you
that's pretty
create that
awesome.
or somebody helped you with
I've got a guy here in Bowling Green that's an awesome designer.
that?
He's a ISOBAN, ISOBAN on
Yeah.
Instagram. If anybody wants to
Yeah, I'll tag him
look
in the
him up,
video. Yeah. Mhm.
yeah, he's an extremely gifted artist, and
Nice.
he did that with like a day's notice. So
That's
I was like, dude,
incredible.
we need to slap that on a shirt ASAP.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Those shirts are cool, and
Yeah,
like the
thanks.
logos, everything. I mean, that's
Yeah,
that's that's
yeah,
awesome. It kind
yeah.
of it kind of Go ahead.
He actually did the Titan fuel too.
Oh, cool. Awesome. Yeah.
Yeah.
So
So
he like the logo of the podcast is so like what I think of you when I think of it's like jacked but like loves food,
yeah,
you know?
yeah, yeah, yeah. It's a cookie eating pizza and hamburgers.
Yeah,
You know what I mean? With
yeah.
sunglasses on.
That's hilarious. Yeah, yeah. And
Yeah.
so anyway, so you guys got this thing going, and what's the I guess the plan like for the future? Are you planning to like grow, do more shows or how are you thinking this 2021 was gonna pan out for
Yeah, I think if I can find some more time somewhere,
you?
I think I'd like to do some different programming.
Yeah.
Maybe bring on inspirational people and
Mm,
kind of dip into the mindset of different people
sure.
that's been through different things, and I think that would be very valuable and something that somebody would want to listen to,
Yeah.
especially in negative times like this. If you could tap into something that was
Some
motivational and
positivity.
inspirational.
Yeah,
Yeah, for
yeah, no,
sure.
I completely understand it. I like we were talking a little earlier about RX Muscle. You mentioned it, and one thing that I like that Dave does is that, and I've been trying to get into that scene, but it's a
Uh-huh.
little difficult time wise as well.
Right, right.
Is he does a lot of like different kinds of shows, so it's all on his channel, but
Oh
he's
yeah, he's got it figured out. Yeah, he's
yeah,
got it
so
figured out.
yeah, that's the
Uh,
idea, right? That's the plan.
yeah, yeah, and I think he's actually for the muscle in the morning. I think he actually has a content creator for that
Yeah,
pretty much does the time, because that's a lot of work to
that's a
keep
lot
up
of
with
work.
everybody and do something every day and then throw together the clips. And I'm like, man, I couldn't even imagine doing that. But
Dude, brother, this just this show that I'm doing is like
yeah,
to get it
yeah,
like edited
yeah.
and
Oh
out
yeah,
there.
yeah.
For one person, it's like almost too much. So
I
like
know, I know, I
to add
know.
like another
Yeah,
like several shows, you can't do it by
right,
yourself.
right.
Yeah,
Yeah,
that's
my thing is just, man, it takes forever to upload it to YouTube.
yeah, yeah, yeah. It
For
does.
me, I mean, it's hours of time. Luckily, I just got this new computer, so I can just basically that's all I'm doing on it, and I
Yeah,
just leave it up and
just let it
go do
upload.
whatever I got to do. Yeah, in the past, I've been doing everything from my iPhone,
Hmm.
like
Yeah,
iMovie iPhone, and it's just like, man, if you get your phone tied up, for hours,
Oh, it's
man, you
a
can't get nothing done.
no, no. My
So,
phone is like my life. I hate the fact that that's the case.
yeah,
Like, but my phone is my life. If I lose my phone, I lose everything. It's like I lose all the
right,
people I know. I don't remember
right.
anybody's number.
No, I
I
know
don't.
it.
So,
We're becoming, I watched the Elon Musk and Joe Rogan
hmm,
recent
yeah,
episode, and it's crazy, but we're basically becoming an extension of our phones.
yeah,
It's
absolutely.
it's kind of scary, but it's kind of it's hard to imagine life without the convenience of having your phone for everything.
Yeah,
So
yeah.
it's kind of like one of those things. Do you hate it or do you love it?
Right. Yeah, absolutely. It's the same thing with like social media, right? It's like there's a lot of like negative to it, but then there's also a lot of positive in the sense like you yourself, you use your social media a lot for your business and everything, and
Right.
just promoting
Right. Oh
yourself.
yeah.
Same with me. So, and it's if you don't have that, what are you supposed to do? Like before,
Right.
people would just pay advertisers. Now you do that for
Hmm.
free on your own channel,
Right. Right.
So yeah, it's a different world, but it's like if you don't, you can be left behind too
Yeah.
if you don't keep
Yeah.
up.
That's why I respect John Meadows, because he looks like he would know nothing about technology or computers or
Mhm.
anything. And he probably didn't at one point in time,
Right.
but he's adapted. And I don't care what the newest and latest thing is, he's always learning it and
Yeah.
using it, and he creates killer content too. So
Yeah.
he's
Yeah.
uh he's been a you know form of inspiration too. Just hey, if John Meadows can do it, then I can sit on here and figure out how to upload something to Spotify and iTunes and
Yeah. Yeah.
and
Yeah.
edit. You know what I mean? So
Absolutely. No, I completely understand. So, I guess like to move on, I wanted to talk to you about Titan Fuel. It seems like
yeah,
everywhere I look now, it's everywhere. I even saw like you posted a picture. It looked like The Rock had a form of it as well, and I was like, that's so cool. Like, so it seems
yeah,
like you're really doing well with that. Is there what's happening?
yeah. I don't know if that was actually my stuff. I have sent him some, so
Uh,
I'm
it
kind
looked
of
like it.
kind
I
of
will
kind of
say,
putting two and two together. Yeah, it
yeah, it
did
looked
have the
like it.
the vibrant red color to it. So if uh if that was it, that's
Yeah,
pretty awesome.
that is pretty
And
awesome.
yeah, but yeah, man, I'm just waiting for more product to come in, and I haven't really even started pushing it hardcore yet. I know it looks like I've been doing quite a bit,
Mhm.
but we got some more products coming out. Of course, the current product that you're speaking of is
Mhm.
the pre AA.
Right.
So it's pre workout and EAAs in one uh, formula. It's been a huge hit. Everybody loves it. Everybody loves the flavor and you know all the positive effects of it with the clean energy, the endurance, the pumps.
Mhm.
You know, a lot of compliments I get on it. It don't make them too jittery. And I was like,
Right.
yeah, because it don't have 4 or 5 different stimulants in it like
Yeah.
some companies are doing now. It's just caffeine. So
Yeah. Yeah.
basically, I just put together uh, an ingredient profile that I knew that was effective and stuff that I look for in supplements.
Mhm.
And I wanted to make it pretty versatile where females and males alike could both
Right.
utilize it,
Right.
So we put that together. We got fiber greens coming. I guess today's March 1st. Okay. So here within about a week or so, I should have that available, and that's going to be a pretty awesome product. It's going to have greens, uh, fiber, probiotics. It's got the berries. It's
Mhm.
got detox blend, some essential fatty acids. I mean, it's a killer product that I
Yeah.
think will do very well. So waiting on it, and then also in formulation have a GDA, which is going to be called Dusted.
Oh, nice. In the shirt
And
too.
yeah,
That's a
I
cool
think
design too. Same guy make
yeah,
that, or is it different?
no, different guy made this
Different
one,
guy. Hmm.
uh, but we're going to actually put this on the label, so
Gotcha.
it should turn out pretty cool and be a good excuse to eat some cheap meals and and make some content with that.
So what is the for those who don't know GDA? What is that?
Glucose disposal agent. So
Okay.
you take it before higher carb meals or cheat meals, and it kind of helps shuttle the glycogen to your muscles
Mhm.
versus remaining in the bloodstream. You know, it's
Gotcha.
good for bringing your blood sugar down a little bit. That way, you know, you don't want to stay at high blood sugars. You
Right.
know, a lot of people aren't familiar with blood sugar
Mhm.
information. You know, but it's something that I've always kept an eye on. It's
Yeah.
good,
Yeah.
good thing to know.
Yeah, especially like as much as people in general eat, and nowadays and everything has a ton of carbs in it. It's like so many people are coming and becoming diabetic. It's it's
Right,
it's
right,
it's crazy. My
yeah,
wife is in nursing school right now, and it's like
hmm,
that's a huge problem in the population of diabetes, even at like young ages. So yeah,
right,
definitely something that could help. I like how like your Titan Fuel, the pre-workout was more for like the training aspect of it, and now you've
hmm,
got two products that are coming out that are
yeah,
more nutrition based, like for
right,
health
right,
purposes. That's pretty
yeah.
cool.
Basically, my goal was, you know, I've got a sponsor here in Bowling Green that's, you know, gave me basically any supplements I needed over the past 4 or 5 years, which
Hmm.
has been a huge blessing, you know, to be able to have that. Um, but there's a couple times that they ran out of something, or you know, and I was like, man, I think I could just make my own, you know, and and I knew that he would support me and he would bring it in the store, you
Hmm.
know, and something that I felt strongly about, I knew that would sell well, you
Yeah,
know.
yeah,
So that's kind of been my business model of, you know, just putting together stuff that I take every day,
hmm,
and what I think are necessities,
yeah.
basically.
I like the pre-workout isn't so overstimulated because like
Right.
I used to take things like I'm sure Jack 3D and other stuff
Hmm.
like that is like
Oh
very
yeah.
very high in stimulants, and
Hmm.
I felt like a jolt from it, but then you also
Hmm.
get a big crash, right?
Yeah.
And
Right.
then it's like all they're doing, essentially is just like you said, putting a bunch of caffeine in it. Like for example, my wife
Yeah.
can't take it. She's like,
Right.
for her, it's way too strong, makes her feel sick. So
Yeah.
something like this is so, needed right now. So,
Yeah. And a lot of, you know, of course, when we were younger and we were growing up, we wanted hardcore stuff. You know,
right.
we wanted whatever you could feel the most. It made you, you know, want to run through a brick wall. But that long term is not good for your, you know, central
Absolutely.
nervous system.
Yeah.
You know, so yeah, I understand kids, you know, they're still going to talk, but they want the hard stuff. And I'm, you know, I try to tell them, look, hey, it's not all about that, man. You
Yeah.
know, and even when you're so stimulated, it could be detrimental to your, you know, to your pump, to your performance
Mhm.
in the gym. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? So I do plan on later down the line coming out with something a little higher stem, you
Mhm.
know,
Yeah.
but I also want to do some non-stem stuff too for
Yeah.
people that are very sensitive.
Absolutely. And then, you got to think also like for people that are sensitive to not sleeping, like a higher stimulant
Right.
thing, that's not something that they can take, and they don't sleep
Right.
well. And then you don't sleep
Right.
well, you don't recover well.
Right.
It's a domino effect. So
Yeah. And
yeah.
some people, you know, some people work out at night, you know, so you got to
Yeah.
have something that's not too aggressive. That way, you
Right.
know, by the time you get out of the gym, you're ready to about wind down, you know.
Right.
So
Right. Yeah. Yeah.
so
Very
I thought,
true.
you know, I've got 200 caffeine in a scoop, you know,
Mhm.
so maybe if you were training late at night, one would be fine. You know,
Yeah.
there's 100 in a cup of coffee, you know, so I could
Right.
drink a cup of coffee and go to bed. You know,
Right.
it don't get me too wired up. But
Yeah. And then you can make adjustments, right? You don't have
right,
to. It's in
right,
powder form, so you don't. You
right,
can you can do half a scoop. You can do
right,
a third, whatever
right,
whatever you want to
right,
do.
right.
Yep. Very cool. Very cool. Wow, that's exciting. It's exciting news. I didn't know you had two more products coming out.
Yeah, actually, I'm waiting in the mail. I've got the GDA sample and a fat burner sample. I'm gonna do a fat burning powder. You know, just because when I'm cutting,
Hmm.
when I'm cutting, man, I need some flavor. You know what I mean? So I thought it'd be fun just to mix a good drink of something that tasted unbelievable that
Yeah.
didn't have the calories. You know what I
Yeah. Yeah.
mean? So yeah,
Yeah, that's huge because it's like when you're dieting, you just want something so bad, and it's like if you have
yeah,
something they can
yeah,
they can kind of blunt that desire a little
yeah.
bit, it
Right,
goes a long
right.
way. I mean, what some people do is like they'll do like diet drinks, which which
Right,
is
right,
great, but it's
right,
nice if you can have like a supplement that can do something
right,
similar. So
right.
very
Yeah, I
cool.
think you could even uh, make like like a slushy or something. You know what
Yeah,
I mean? If
yeah.
you have a good flavor. Uh, I think we're working. The first sample coming in, I think, is a maybe a raspberry lemonade or something. I think it would be
Mhm.
real
Mhm.
tasty.
Yeah.
So
Yeah, very cool, very cool. So if you get your pro card, let's just say you get your pro card because I'm pretty sure it's going to happen this year. Then what are you thinking? You thinking you're going to do a pro show this year, or are you just going to wait and try to develop a little more?
yeah, I guess it depends. You know, what show I'll turn pro at,
Hmm.
and what's coming up soon. But I've always been of the mindset of, hey, like I think I have the muscle. I don't necessarily have the tiny joints in the waist to do well at the pro level, but I know I've got the muscle. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
You know,
Hmm.
it's hard to believe, but I'm I probably weighed on stage more than Bumstead did. We're the same height. I
Right.
cut down to 230. I think he was like 231, but I
Hmm.
mean, I knew I was a lot more depleted than he was. So I ended up on stage. I think I was like 244,
Hmm.
245
Yeah.
that morning. That morning that I competed. So I don't see Chris putting on much more, or probably not even that much. You know what
Yeah.
I mean? He
Yeah.
was super dry. So um, I I think I can hang muscle wise. It's just finding a show, and hopefully I'm working on bringing the waist in a little bit,
Yeah.
and widening the lats. So hopefully that'll help my
Yeah.
structure.
Yeah.
I don't have
So
a terrible structure, but when you're competing against the elite, on the pro level,
right.
it's the whole different ball game,
Yeah.
and
Yeah.
people don't
That
realize that.
I just had somebody on just right before you, and it was a female from the UK, and she was just talking about what the like how huge the difference is between amateurs and pros. She got her pro card just recently.
Hmm.
It's like it is so different, and with the men it's the same thing. It's like you see them on stage and you think they're a certain way until you actually stand next to them, and it's like, no, this is a whole different ball game,
Right.
between the
Yeah.
amateurs and the pros. So,
Yeah. It's just like stepping on the NFL field compared to the college field.
right, right, yeah,
A
exactly.
lot different.
Yeah. Do you foresee yourself in the future just going into open, or are you going to try to, stay in the division that you're in?
Well, I think see, if I turn pro, I'll get 10 more pounds. So that would be absolute game changer for me, because I'm struggling right now. But imagine if I had 10 more pounds of muscle and then could struggle again to make weight.
Yeah.
I think I would be dangerous. I don't think I necessarily have the size for open.
Hmm.
I think I think if I took a couple years off, I could probably get there. I got up to 300 last year.
Ooh, 300.
Yeah, yeah. I hit 300.2 in Mexico after about a week long of buffets.
Yeah.
I hit 300, and that was the
That's big
biggest I've ever
Grammy
been.
size right
Yeah,
there.
yeah, yeah. I think when I got there in Mexico, I weighed and I was like 278 or 282. I can't remember what it
Mhm.
was. And I'm kind of close to 300. I wonder if I could make it.
Yeah, push it. Yeah,
And
push it
then
a little.
day by day, I was up 4 or 5 pounds, 4 or 5 pounds, 4 or 5 pounds. And then I woke up and I was like 290, low 290s
Uh-huh.
one day. And I was like, I'm going to hit 300 day. That's easy. I was like, I'm just drink a gallon of water and I can go to the buffet and I'm good,
Yeah.
you
You
know?
talk you
So
talk about gaining weight like people talk about losing weight. You're like, "Oh, I think I can do it. I think I can
yeah,
do it."
yeah, yeah. That's just one of those things. I've never been, when I was younger, I'm sure I was more of a scale chaser,
Mhm.
but as you grow older, you realize that that's not as important as what it once was, and
Yeah,
it don't matter what the weight is. It depends on what you look like. But
sure.
for this for this circumstance, I was like, man, 300 is like a milestone. That's
Mhm.
like, And I
Yeah.
probably acted the same way when I finally hit 200, way back in the day. But
Yeah.
not many people hit 300, so I was
Oh,
like,
no. Yeah.
not a decent looking 300 anyway.
Right, and that's what I was gonna say. I was like, just just judging from like your pictures and everything, even at your heaviest, even off season, I mean, you're still in really good shape. I mean, so like those,
Yeah,
so you're keeping that weight like looking good. Like that weight
yeah,
is not change your physique
yeah.
too much.
I keep cardio in year round, so that's something a lot of people don't do. Mine's
Yeah,
probably a little higher than what it needs to be, but that's just what I require. I eat
right,
too much.
right.
So I would always rather do a little extra cardio for a little more food.
Yeah, 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 yeah. No, I completely get where you're coming from. Well, Barley, hey man, thanks for coming on the show. I know we're working with limited amount of time, but I
Oh yeah.
appreciate you taking the time out of your day, a busy schedule to come on. Really greatly appreciate it.
Absolutely, brother. Appreciate you
Yeah.
working me in. This is our second round. What we
Yep,
did
second round.
Titan game stuff was last time, wasn't it?
Yeah, yeah, but it was we were talking about
Yeah,
your experience there, and I just
yeah,
saw you recently posted a picture of you in the helmet. It was like,
yeah, yeah, yeah.
yeah,
Gotta throw a little throwback every now and then.
yeah,
But
that's
yeah,
funny.
I was swelled up from eating buffets. You see my jaws in it.
Yeah,
Hey man, I was eating good up there, man. I had
yeah.
to. I was trying to heal that hamstring up. So
Yeah, yeah, I
I
remember you
was
were
I was
telling about that
yeah,
injury. That's
yeah,
intense. Yeah. So for
yeah,
anybody who's listened to this, go back to listen to our last one with Barley. It was a great one too. But I hope to have
sure.
you on you many more times. But again,
Sure,
thank you so
brother.
much for your time, man.
I appreciate you, man.
All right, you take care. Bye.
All right. See you, bud.